Hi, welcome to your sexy morning routine. I am so excited to have you here because by tightening up your morning routine and tapping into your sexy, you unlock a whole new level of magnetism. And what this does is it changes how your audience perceives you because you're showing up differently online. Your magnetism is multiplied times 1,000 because when you tap into your sexy and you allow her to be seen and expressed, it gives you that freedom of play, of sexy, of sensuality, and not that you have to share that online, but allowing her to be seen, that's what makes you get on the camera, talk on Instagram, and people are like, what is she gonna say? It also creates a safety for you to say what you wanna say, be who you wanna be, and show up however you want to show up online. The goal here is your most authentic self. In this training, you'll find three things. This instructional video to where I'm gonna go over some frameworks of your morning routine and then how you can customize it and make it your own. Second, a Google document. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's basically the same thing I'm saying here, just another delivery for the people that are visual learners, you wanna see it, or maybe you wanna refer back to it. The third thing is a follow along video, 20 minutes, where it's designed for you to just pop it open, turn it on, and follow along with me while you are creating this habit for 30 days. Stick to it for 30 days, commit, and you will, over time, slowly make it your own. This is just a framework for you to customize yourself. A little bit about me. Before I was a business coach, teaching authenticity in content and how you're showing up online and growing your business from a place of authenticity, being you, building a life, a business, and creating content around who you really are, regardless of what everybody else is doing. In mid-2000, I woke up with Bell's palsy. If you don't know what Bell's palsy is, this is when half of your face is paralyzed. I woke up on my birthday and my entire left side of my face was drooping. At the time, I was in college, I was in public speaking classes. I had a great internship with Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser. I was doing commercials on TV, and all of a sudden I woke up with this fucking thing on my face. I was like, God, what is this? I thought I had a stroke. And in that time, I hated myself. I felt like my body failed me. I hated my face. I thought it was ugly. I felt like the good Lord above failed me. I hated life. I hated everything. So this turned into massive disembodiment. When it came to relationships with men, I used my body to connect. I was quick to have sex because don't look at my face, right? Because when you're dating somebody, when you're getting to know someone, what do? It's like you look at them in their face like, oh baby, let's make eye contact. I couldn't do that. I was like, let's just go fuck. It was just so much easier to jump that, to go fast in that way. So much love for her. Disembodiment. I hated myself. Now, I still have some residual nerve damage, but I love it today. It's part of me. I don't even notice it anymore. In that journey of coming back home to myself, home to my heart, home to my authenticity, it was a massive journey of self-honesty. If I hated myself, you gotta admit, I had to admit that I hated myself and learn to love her. I thought my face was ugly. I think you're ugly, but I'm gonna learn to love you. This is where the authenticity comes, even from that. Authenticity. Fast forward now to morning routine, to sexy, and how this ties into business. As a business owner, tapping into your sexy and giving yourself a morning routine that's going to fuel you and set you up for the day, set you up into your next level self, is what's going to keep you going, keep you internally inspired, connected to your big vision. This is what we're gonna get into in the 20-minute practice. I'm gonna go over two different parts of the morning practice because after talking about this with so many different entrepreneurs and clients, and there's a tiny little gap to where, okay, I'm gonna get into work now. This gap is where some people can tend to dick around and the morning practice becomes 30 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it becomes very unproductive. The gap, which I'm gonna address at the end of the video, is where you tap into your next level self and you literally plan your day, decide your day, but that gap, you gotta be clear on it because if not, that's when havoc happens. Here's a problem I see with people who are all over the place in the mornings. You don't know what to do, which we're gonna get into today. I'm gonna give you some frameworks that you can make your own. Very simple, very simple. The second thing is, you have a lot of internal healing to do. So what happens is when you wake up in the morning, your brain is the freshest. Generally, the first thing on your mind, if it's a problem, a worry or concern, a relationship that isn't ideal, a conversation that needs to be had, these things are going to come up. So if you were to try to sit there and go inward, oh, it's gonna feel sticky, you're not gonna want to. Or that's when scrolling happens. You lay in bed like, oh, I wanna think about that relationship, or fuck, those whatever problems are coming up. So people start scrolling to escape it. Now, if that's you, what I suggest is taking note of that and commit to working through that. So if that's you, have awareness and know that, okay, these things are gonna come up. I'm gonna park that for now, not in avoidance, but I'm gonna park it for now, have my morning practice, have my day, and commit to healing that. If this is some work you wanna do, I do have an embodiment masterclass where I go over these different phases of your healing journey through embodiment. There's 3. Embodiment of self. That is, I call it the healing hoe phase. That's when you're probably starting your personal development journey, going through the shadows of your problems, your issues, your dramas and traumas, and that's when the morning routine can tend to be a little longer because you're committing to the healing process of it. Then you come into embodiment of self. That's today, right now. And then embodiment of your next level. We go into next level embodiment practices. That's a whole different thing. But that's an embodiment masterclass that I have. But back to the mornings. Let's start with the intention. This is meant to get you moving in the morning, get your body going, step into your next level self, and start your day. This is not meant to be a hour thing. The attention of you, what you're wearing. What are your pajamas like? Now, it doesn't mean you have to look a certain way, but you want to feel good when you wake up. You can sleep however you sleep, naked and silks and sweats, like whatever makes you feel a certain way. You can get up and change. Sometimes I'll sleep in one thing. I like sleeping in sweats, but I also feel very sexy in sweats. Sweats and a strappy little bra top, it's so sexy to me. Sometimes it's silk PJs. But just really buy yourself some cute PJs, sexy, that you feel good to put on in the morning, that you want to look at yourself in the mirror in the mornings. So there's your intention. Now I have a tiny bonus training in here for you guys. When I was feminine embodiment coaching, I used to teach my clients and speak to kitty gazing. It's exactly what it sounds like. When was the last time that you have looked at her? And the reason why this is so important is because if you are making any part of you wrong, that's where the problem comes in. That's where you're fighting yourself internally and not realizing it. Granted, you're not gonna go over there and go pussy pop all over the internet, and if you do, good for you, but it's about owning that part of you. In my experience working with tons of women, there's this perceived perception of the perfect pussy, and whether it's from porn or whatever that came from, it's awful to know that there's so many women out there that think it's ugly. Call it it. It's she's part of you. And just really, it can look like a 30-second little peep. It can look like stripping down, spreading your legs in front of a mirror, and just having a little look. Love her. Take a deep breath and just like know what she looks like. That's not something that's part of my practice anymore. But if that's something that you need to do, maybe you need to hear this and just learn to love that part of you. The last part of this is the space. Where is your goddess space going to be? It should be an intentional space and the same space every day. For me, I have a beautiful bedroom. I have a huge Z Gallery mirror, pretty bed set, pretty bedding. However, my bedroom doesn't feel like the place where I want to have my morning practice at. I like to have it out in an open space. I have a little mirror that's propped up on a wall and my red light going, and that feels really good for me. I have the links for you in an Amazon shopping list in the Google document. You can find a couple links to the red light that I use and some other options at different price points too. I have clients that have had a smaller apartment that have set up a little mirror inside of their closet, inside of a spare room. It can be anywhere. So let me show you the mirror that I have just so you can see how simple it can be. This is the exact mirror that I use. It's tiny and it's absolutely perfect for what I need it for. The last part of this is the gap. After our 20-minute practice together, you need to ask yourself, is this your creative zone? For a very long time, I did not allow myself to work in the first, let's say, 2 hours of the day. I was like, nope, it's for me. I would go work out, which is beautiful, by the way. Go work out, go outside, or just do other things, which is great. However, that was my most creative time. Now, if this is your creative zone, I'm going to invite you to allow yourself to work. The only rule here is let it be on your business, your content, your creativity, your big vision, your planning, and not client work. No scrolling. For me, it looks like getting all my ideas out. Sometimes it's talking my ideas out to my WhatsApp, actually creating the piece of content itself from idea to post, or workshopping ideas with myself, or content planning and prepping and just really diving into my creativity. So if you are the most creative in the morning, create a schedule for yourself to where after your morning practice, you have a little dance, then allow yourself to get right into work, but know what's not work for you at that time. It's not client work, it's you. You can get so much done while the world is asleep and you zone in on what you're gonna do for those 2 hours. A little bit more about my schedule that really helps me is 2 days a week, I have spin class at 6 in the morning. Those 2 days of the week, I know it looks like my morning practice, then I go to spin, then I come home and get to work. I would really encourage you to tap into the Fitbit. Tap into your fitness as soon as you can. If it's right around your creative time, maybe it's right after. So for those 2 days of the week, I go to spin, come home and work. For the other days of the week, it's my morning practice. I get about 2 hours of work done, then I go to the gym. Have fun with this practice, make it your own, and if you do share something on Instagram in your red light where you're just feeling yourself or you just really love what you learned today, please tag me. I would love to see. Enjoy.